Hey, how y'all doing? Welcome to my channel, My Life as a Motherless Son. I appreciate you watching this video. But what I want to talk about is, you know, never judging a book by its cover. Because, in life, we go around and we judge. That's just the way it is, right? Everybody judges. Everybody looks at things and make a judgment off of it, even though they say don't judge me and things like that. And I can understand why people say that, but that's not what I'm saying. I'm just talking about how you as an individual judge other people. You know what I'm saying? Because we all do it. We all may look at someone and assume a certain thing about them because of our experience with seeing somebody that look like that. They might fit a particular description of something that we saw on a movie, or we saw some kind of way that person was acting, and they put a mental imprint on us on that type of person. You get what I'm saying? So when you see a certain type of person, you automatically go back to that thing you saw of somebody that looked like that, and that gave you an idea of maybe this person here is the same way. But a lot of times that's wrong. Not all the time. Sometimes it's dead wrong. But a lot of times it's not completely true, right? And also when you see a person, you may not necessarily understand what that person has been through or is going through. You just only see where they are at the moment. Like, for example, if you take a person that may have started off poor without anything, may not have a lot of stuff. But you don't know that, right? You just see them now, they driving an expensive car, they're living in this nice house, they got all of the great things, and you look at them and you say, well, dang, man, look what they got. You start judging them right there. You start judging how they may think. You start judging how they may have gotten those things. You may think that somebody gave them something. They might have born with a silver spoon in their mouth. You may think all of those things, and they may be completely wrong, because that's not the way things go for everybody. Majority of the people that you see with all those things come from very humble beginnings. It's just that they figured out that they hated their childhood growing up, living in poverty without, the necessary things that everybody else has. And it gave them a drive to push harder, to work harder, to get out of that situation and go out and give it everything they had to ensure that they can finally have those things they always wanted, and they can provide that same thing for their children. And we don't see them grinding and going through the struggle. Most of the time, you only see the end result. You only see what happens at the end, meaning where they end up at. You don't see what it took for them to get there. But if you saw them out in public, you'll make judgment. And then you got the people that don't look like they have a lot of things, and they really truly do have a lot of things. You might see a person, they're not driving the nicest car, they're not wearing the nicest clothes. You looking at them and you might judge them and say, well, look at them, they don't really have nothing. But just because they're driving that type of car, that means they might have been saving their money. They might have been spending their money elsewhere into things that's very important. Like, they might be more concerned about where they live than what they drive. So you might see that same car parked in front of a mansion. I mean, it may be a little bit of exaggeration, but you get what I'm saying. Like, they might have that car parked in front of somewhere nice, and then you might see somebody with a nice car parked in front of something that's not so nice. That just depends on the priorities. But I'm not here to look at them in a bad way. I'm just saying that you can't judge a book by its cover. You never know what a person is on the inside. You may see a person out here smiling, laughing, having a good time, and it look like they're enjoying life. But in the inside, they're hurting. They're laughing to hide the pain. They're going out doing a lot of things to hide the pain. They just seem to be so happy, seem to be having so much fun in life. And if you got close to them and you can see them more often, you will start realizing this person's really not enjoying life as much as they claim. And then you may have a person that's very quiet, very down, to themselves, and very reserved and reclusive. If you want to Yeah, that's a good word, I think. And they they're living the best life. You know, it's just hard to tell just by looking at somebody for a little while. You know, you got to really get to know somebody to really know what's going on with them. You know, a lot of people, they smile and seem like they're having a good time, seem like life is fun, and then next thing you know, that person has committed suicide or something like that. But you know, you never knew it. You never knew what they was really going through on the inside, and they was doing all of those things to compensate for what they was going through on the inside. So you know, you can't never judge a book by its cover. You just got to be wary of that and always give a person an opportunity to show you who they are, and never try to guess who a person is, because usually you're going to guess wrong, and that's not fair to that person that you guess wrong on who they are, because you're wrong guessing or you saying the wrong things to them, it just could do something to them mentally, like they could change how they feel about themselves or whatever the case may be. Yeah, we all supposed to be grown people, but you got children out there who are not able to handle things as well as adults can handle it, right? So, you know, you got to think about the children, how the children going to feel. You see a child acting out and you want to automatically resort to discipline. Yeah, don't get me wrong. There is a time and place for discipline. Children do need to be disciplined, and that ain't for me to say what that is. That's just, I'm just saying that whatever it is for you, then that's what it should be for however you discipline your children. But I'm just saying that sometimes they do need discipline. But you gotta be able to know the difference, and you can't just judge it off of one thing. You gotta know the full scope. So get to know your children real well, and know the full scope of how they are all the time, and you'll be able to know the difference between them just acting out and then them just being undisciplined. And if they're acting out, then you gotta be aware of that, because that's what's gonna that can be a problem later on. And you got to know why are they acting out. You know, you might not be aware of something that's going on with them. It may not be you per se that's doing it. It could be anybody. It could be happening anywhere else, somewhere outside of what you see. And that child, sometimes, most of the time, children don't know how to articulate to you as an adult what they're dealing with. And because they know a lot of times, as parents, we quick to discipline, we quick to get on them, and that's going to shut that part off. But we got to be more open sometimes, and we got to be able to distinguish the difference and know when our child needs to be disciplined versus when they need to be, when you need to get more involved and get closer and find out why they're acting this way, because it could mean that something's going on that you don't know about, and you need to deal with that. You know what I'm saying? Because they resent you for it later, and they resent that person, whoever that person is causing them to feel that way. You know, you just can't judge it by its cover. You can't just look at something and automatically know what the problem is and try to assume something. You don't want to do that, because you probably gonna make a bad judgment if you do it that way. You get what I'm saying? So just don't judge a book by its cover. You know, just give a person an opportunity to show you who they are. When you're dealing with children, especially your own, get to know when they need to be disciplined, and then get to know when they're acting out. It's two different things. In my book, in my opinion, it's two different things, and you got to know the difference and how to deal with each. Because it's very delicate, especially with children, because you do it wrong, you create a problem for life. And you want to try to do it right. Now, we're not perfect. As humans, we're not perfect. I mean, we're not. Yeah, we are perfectly made, but we make mistakes, you know, so we're going to make them all the time. But we want to try to be as close to right as we can. Not that we always be right. You get what I'm saying? So that's just you know, a little advice or something, just not judging a book by its cover. And just try to do that in your day-to-day, even with yourself, you know. Try to do that with yourself. Don't judge yourself, but, you know, get to know yourself. You get to know yourself. A lot of the issues that you're having with yourself, you will be able to overcome them is by getting to know who you really are and not what people think you are. Sometimes we tend to act like what people think we are versus acting like who we are on the inside. Because a lot of us are ashamed or afraid to show our true selves. So we give people what they expect us to be. That's who we give off. And we're not really being what's inside of us. And you ain't completely free until you can give what's inside of you and not give people what they expect you to be. I used to be the one who gave people what they expected me to be. So I would do a lot of things that was crazy and wrong, all because I was doing what they expected of me. You know, they expected me to act this way, so I would. They expected me to do this, so I would do it. But I'm the one looking like a fool in the end. But I had to get to know thyself. And once I got to know who I was, and then I became more comfortable with who I was, I started giving them who I was. And I wasn't concerned about who liked me and who wanted to be around me or anything like that, because I was comfortable in my skin and I was comfortable being who I was, and doing those crazy things wasn't who I was. And when I started doing that, they didn't understand that. They didn't understand why. They thought I had, like, what's wrong with you? Why you doing this? Because they was expecting me to be that guy, but I had let that person go, and I became who I really was, and it was shocking to them. But that's the way it is, and I stand on that 100%, and I won't change. You know, I'm still gonna be who I am now. I wish I had known this a long time ago, but that's okay. I know it now, and I will continue to do it, and I wish the same for you. And I want to thank you for watching this video. If you watch it to the end, I appreciate it. And please subscribe to the channel. You know, if you thought what I said was halfway decent, like the video. And there's more videos to come. Thank you for stopping by my channel, My Life as a Motherless Son. Have a good day or night, whichever time you watch this video. Take care.